Now at 7, a crash involving a semi-truck and 3 cars sends 3 people to the hospital. We'll have the latest coming up in our morning headlines. Plus,
with the legalization of sports gambling, this has opened up Pandora's box to things like this happening more often.
20 college basketball players charged in one of the biggest sports betting schemes revealed. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live with more on a former Oregon Ducks alleged involvement. And we are also live at the Portland Fan Expo this morning. We'll have everything you need to know about this weekend's event in just a few minutes. Sunrise streaming live at 7 starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by for a look at your weather and traffic.
Well, we're still about, 44 minutes away from sunrise, something like that. We are now late enough in the morning. We're starting to see the blue sky that's awaiting us. Here's the Chehalem Tasting Room camera out in Sherwood. That's Mount Hood, of course, off to the right. There's Mount Hood off to the left. This is really pretty from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront, which, if you recall, was the first spot yesterday to start to clear out the clouds, and we've been clear ever since. There is the way it looks from downtown Portland from the Wells Fargo building. Temperatures this morning, some of you are at freezing with frosty conditions. In Portland, on average, about 36 out the door. It will be 48 degrees at noon and another mild afternoon. The kids get out of school at 55. It is windy, but only in the proximity to the opening of the gorge out near Troutdale, where winds will be gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour today. Chris?
Sunshine looks good. All right, Rod, we pick it up with a traffic alert in Hillsborough. Let's take you out there. Highway 26 eastbound, and more specifically, the ramp from Cornelius Pass Road northbound to eastbound Highway 26 right there. If you look closely, you can see a little fender bender there on the on-ramp, so that may be adding to some local slowing getting onto the freeway eastbound. Once you do, we're in pretty good shape. In fact, the trip in from Hillsborough, only 13 minutes, so can't do much better than that. 15 minutes you're driving from Troutdale, so you can see we're zipping along at a speed limit commute so far, even over the Columbia. Both the I-5 Interstate Bridge and the I-205 Glen Jackson Bridge are looking A-OK so far on this Friday morning. China?
Chris, thank you. A person is in critical condition this morning after authorities say a freight train struck and injured that person last night. This happened just before 7 on Union Pacific Railroad tracks near Northeast 158th and Rose Parkway. Because of a lack of access to the tracks, firefighters had to use a ladder and rope to lower down from I-84 and rescue the victim. Meantime, 3 people were taken to the hospital, one of them by life flight after a multi-car crash south of Wilsonville. This happened just before 7:30 last night on I-5 northbound near the Charbonneau on-ramp. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue says 4 vehicles were involved in this crash, including 1 semi-truck. A Lincoln County pilot walked away with minor injuries after his helicopter went down yesterday. This is a look at the wreckage at a cow pasture from about 6 miles from Siletz. Luckily, no animals were hurt, no buildings damaged. The helicopter is registered to the Weyerhaeuser Company. A spokesperson tells us they are working with officials to figure out what caused that crash. Meantime, in Washington, several sheriffs are pushing back against a new bill that would add new state requirements for them. So those requirements would include age minimums, years of law enforcement experience, and county-funded background checks. Supporters say it sets consistent standards, but some sheriffs argue it goes too far. For example, if a sheriff's certification is revoked, a new commission could remove the sheriff from office rather than through a recall vote by residents.
It removes their ability to decide. It places it on a group of unelected individuals that, in large part, a lot of them are not even law enforcement.
There has been so much state overreach, in particular into law enforcement. This is just another extreme measure by the state to have control.
There was a similar bill proposed last year, but it never made it out of committee. Another hearing for this Senate bill is scheduled for next week. We are learning more about one of the biggest scandals in college basketball history. A new federal indictment accuses more than a dozen players of shaving points, including a former Oregon Duck. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us now from Northwest Portland. And Thomas, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, a lot to unpack and a lot of money to talk about here, China, as well. We're talking about millions of dollars in bets made by fixers and hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes to players. Now, this all revolves around the college game as well as Chinese basketball games. Federal investigators believe those involved began rigging games beginning in 2022. Of the 26 people indicted, 22 of them are former college players, including former Duck, Jalen Terry. He played for Oregon for one season in 2021, though prosecutors say Terry's involvement in the scheme happened later, during the 2023-24 season when he was playing for DePaul. Federal investigators accused Terry and 3 of his teammates of taking bribes to underperform in the first half of 3 games.
They did so with carefully orchestrated FaceTime calls to obscure and prevent their communications from being intercepted and recorded.
Investigators say fixers would bet hundreds of thousands of dollars on games and players would earn 10 to 30 grand for underperforming. The indictment suggests some players were targeted for the scheme because they were missing out on NIL money. And some experts say they're not surprised we've reached this point.
With the legalization of sports gambling, this has opened up Pandora's box to things like this happening more often.
And yeah, look, this is something that we've heard about recently here in Portland. Back in October, then Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups was accused of playing a part in rigged poker games with ties to the mafia. An unnamed person who fits Billups' description is also accused of rigging an NBA game. Billups, for his part, has denied those allegations. China?
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live for us. Thank you, Thomas. And when it comes to the case against Billups, you may recall that he pleaded not guilty in federal court in November and was released on bond. He's currently barred from gambling and his travel is limited. He's also on unpaid leave from the team. All 31 defendants in that gambling case are due back in court in March. The judge has said that he hopes to hold a trial in the fall. If you are a fan of comics, movies, TV shows, or cosplay, this weekend is what you have been waiting for. Fan Expo Portland kicks off today at the Oregon Convention Center, and thousands are set to attend. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live from the expo as things get set up with what you can expect. Corey.
That's exactly right, China. And I have one question for you. Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters! Right?
Yes, there it is. There it is. That's right. And if you love pop culture and if you say, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, and you're one of those fans who want to come down here to the Oregon Convention Center, you can take part in all things pop culture. The Fan Expo is set to bring together thousands of fans under one roof across several days. The event is put on by Fan Expo HQ, and so it gives fans a deeper dive into the celebration of pop culture fandom. You can expect celebrity guests to make an appearance, including from special movies like Lord of the Rings, Elijah Wood, Sean Astin set to be here as well this weekend. You can also expect some panels, some discussion to talk about your favorite TV show and movies, to learn exactly how they came together, the stories behind them. Also cosplay, going to be a major factor as well. Going to see a lot of people dressed up as characters in different forms and fashions. Oh, look, there's Timmy sitting in the Jeep right there. And so, I mean, really, we're going to zoom in on all things pop culture that this event has in store for fans. It's a 3-day event. It ends on Sunday. Tens of thousands of people expected to be here and really enjoy all that it encompasses. And coming up, we'll talk more with those who are going to cosplay for today's event and why they're doing it. Back to you.
Our Corey Johnson reporting live for us this morning. Thank you, Corey.
China, you have seen Ghostbusters, the movie?
I haven't.
You have not?
No, I have not. They actually had to tell me how to respond to Corey because I had no idea what they were talking about.
It's, in my opinion, it's one of the best original scripts ever written for Hollywood. And if you watch the movie, to me, it was so brilliant that at the end, the creature that was threatening them all turned out to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Love that. Wind gust up in Troutdale. We're monitoring this. We've already seen some east wind gusts at the airport there along I-84, holding just under 50 miles per hour. And our weather modeling shows, in fact, there could be some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts during the day today. The Weather Service has a wind advisory for the specific area, the opening of the gorge itself back into, say, Fairview area for 50 to 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So it's going to be a heck of a windy day for you folks. Those winds aren't expected to be quite as strong, but could be close tomorrow. So a couple of very, very windy, blustery days out that direction. Otherwise, the news is basically not much wind and clear skies. Here's Schnookwan's Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City, 38 degrees, clear skies there. Coast temperatures could be approaching 50 at times. That is frost on the grass this morning in front of our state capitol. You can see the clear skies, obviously good visibility, and a freezing number now, 32 degrees. Other temperatures, freezing spots with frosty zones around the valley as well. Battleground, Scappoose, Hillsboro, all sitting at freezing, 45 in Tigard and West Lynn. There's that freezing number in Salem, but east winds over toward the Cascades, 49 in Silverton, 54 in Estacada. Winds help keep the air from settling and getting cold. This afternoon, it's generally sunny. There is fog down into Eugene. Yesterday, that did clear out. We'll watch it today. Cloudy skies all day, though, from Pendleton back into the Dalles and parts of central Oregon, keeping temperatures chilly. But for Portland, sunny blue, 55. Sunny blue tomorrow, 53. East winds starting to noticeably quiet down going into Sunday morning. Could lead to an expansion of valley fog to start the day. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, you mentioned the low clouds east of the Cascades. This is a look right now at just past 7 o'clock in the morning from Ty Ridge in Wasco County on US 197. Can't really see much. It's foggy and socked in that low cloud deck. Also, temperatures below freezing. So Wasco, Sherman, Gillum, Morrow counties, low clouds, fog, and even some freezing fog is your forecast today and could make for some slick spots on the roads. All right, across the metro area, the drive is still in pretty good shape. I don't have any major freeway trouble out there just yet. So while things are quiet, let me remind you of this. The I-205 Abernathy Bridge closes overnight tonight, both directions. This is a full closure from 11 to 6 and then 11 to 7 on Saturday as ODOT continues that seismic retrofit of the bridge. Also in downtown, the Morrison Bridge tomorrow we'll be having several bridge lifts lasting up to 20 minutes at a time. That's from 7 to 4 on Saturday. So know that heading into and out of downtown from I-5, that will probably create some light delays for you there as well. China?
Thank you, Chris.
Bro, Spotify. Are you serious right now?
I'm saying Spotify raising its cost again, and they aren't the only streaming service announcing more price hikes. Coming up on Sunrise, how much more you could be paying for your favorite streaming services this year. Sunrise Streaming Live at 7 continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Portland is adding another professional women's sports team. The Cascade will debut this summer as part of the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. The team will play at Hillsboro Stadium starting in June. In its inaugural season, AUSL featured 4 teams and toured the country. This season, the league is putting down roots in 6 cities, including Portland.
This market has shown it will support women's sports on a large-scale basis. And quite simply, you all show up. You support, you embrace, it's in your culture, it's in your fiber. And so when we were presented the opportunity to call this market one of our 6 homes, we pounced.
The Cascade roster includes former Oregon standout Paige Sinicki, who helped lead the Ducks to the NCAA Women's College World Series last year. If you feel like you're paying too much for subscriptions, you're not alone. Many Americans say they are fed up with the never-ending price increases for their favorite streaming platforms. This comes as Paramount Plus and Spotify announced more price hikes. Christine Romans has the latest.
For fans of Landman on Paramount Plus,
you owe me a lot of money. How's that?
customers now owe $1 more a month for an individual subscription.
Engage!
And gone is the option of an introductory free trial.
This isn't just combat. It's cinema.
The increase coming just ahead of the debut of the UFC on the streaming platform. And music streamer Spotify now in a countdown to a $1 price increase of its own beginning next month. Customers quick to complain.
Bro, Spotify. Are you serious right now?
Netflix, Disney Plus, Comcast Peacock, and HBO Max all raised prices last year. Since 2020, premium ad-free prices have jumped from an average of $9 a month per streamer to $16.
In 2026, there's going to be increased pressure for streaming operators to show profits, and that's going to lead to consumer frustration.
The best deals may come with bundling multiple services.
Consumers like it because they believe they can theoretically save money. And the streaming service operators like it because it lowers cancellation rates.
Last year, the average household that subscribed to streaming services paid for 4, according to Deloitte, shelling out $69 a month. That figure already rising and leaving customers with only one sure way to cut costs: clicking on unsubscribe.
You are do you guys have like Dish or cable, or do you do all the different streaming?
No, we have Netflix, Peacock, and YouTube TV to watch like college football.
Okay. Yeah.
That we're cutting the cord after the national championship game because it's so expensive. It's absurd.
I thought you were just mad. I never want to watch football again after that game.
No, we only have it during the season because it's so expensive. It's like $89 or something. It's
YouTube TV is now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Don't quote me on that. I don't.
Okay, yeah.
My husband pays for that, but I feel like it's in that realm. But it's very expensive. Yeah. It's annoying, and especially when you see popular TV shows or your friends watching shows, and then you go and you're like, oh wait, I don't have Hulu or I don't have.
That's frustrating.
Apple TV. It's annoying.
That's frustrating. Here's a look at beautiful clear sky. Morning over Timberline and, of course, the summit of Mount Hood. Bluebird Day, they call it. I mean, it is gorgeous. Can't take that away from the forecast. 45 is the number. Still really warm for this time of the morning. This temperature, even with the sunny skies coming, won't budge much today. I have Meadows, I have Timberline, I have Ski Bowl, all kind of in the mid-40s throughout the day. Maybe somebody pops up a little bit, but not much. Still consider really, really pleasant weather. Clouds, see them way out to sea. High pressure ridging continuing to give us a bone dry forecast outside of mist with morning fog. A bone dry forecast through the day Tuesday. This doesn't really show up the fog down in Eugene much. There is some fog this morning south of Salem, and maybe that's slow to get out of there. So you folks will be a little bit cooler in the South Valley. But the other thing we're watching really is this big, what I call low cloud lockdown that is something that develops with temperature inversions. It will be cloudy all day. And this is low cloud, no wind, just chilly lockdown weather all the way into the Dalles and spilling down to parts of eastern Oregon as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. East winds already at Troutdale have been gusting to just under 50 miles per hour. The Weather Service has a wind advisory up for areas in close proximity to the opening of the gorge in the Columbia River out in East County. The winds won't alter much today. They'll be bouncing almost every hour above 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow, this shows about the same, maybe not quite as high. And then by Sunday, we think the east winds really start to noticeably diminish. Cameras are beautiful this morning. Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront. There's that kind of yellow-orange hue on the Columbia River from the Springs at the waterfront. And this has been a cold spot, 32 degrees up in Vancouver, some frost around. The Oregon Zoo, again, nobody really has fog of note until you get down to the South Valley. There's freezing numbers in Eugene, Salem. Over in Bend, it's 28 degrees. Teens this morning in Baker City and Burns. Valley forecast, Beautiful sunny day, and really the strong winds, 40, 45, 50 plus mile per hour gusts. You get away from the gorge and you don't have much wind. This is 5 to 15, sunny skies, generally mid 50s, we think on average for much of the I-5 corridor. This shows battleground 57. Again, the winds in close proximity to the river and the opening of the gorge. 55, 53. 2 perfectly clear days. If the wind's calm enough, we could get back into some more widespread valley fog as early as Sunday morning and then into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Monday morning as well. But this is a dry forecast until we have rain chances showing up on Wednesday and Thursday. Here's Chris.
Wild to be that dry for that long in January, like our third wettest month of the year typically. Your drive right now is looking good over on the west side. There's a live look at Highway 26 out near 217. We'll take you there. If you remember earlier this week, this was one of those places that was socked in with fog. Not yesterday, certainly not today. In fact, you're going to need the sunglasses in a little while once that sun pops up. South there, 217 near Shoals Ferry. For perspective, the headlights there, that's the northbound drive. That appears to be zipping right along as well. Right now, the trip in from Hillsborough, 14 minutes. Northbound from Wilsonville, 18 minutes. That's the speed limit clip on the freeways. As we look at the trip out of Clark County, right there at the bottom left-hand part of your screen, that's the I-205 drive over the Abernathy Bridge. That, too, is rolling right along. No major freeway trouble out there just yet.
President Trump praising the gift of a Nobel Peace Prize from Venezuela's opposition leader, calling it a gesture of mutual respect. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
During a visit to the White House yesterday, Venezuela's opposition leader gifted President Donald Trump her Nobel Peace Prize. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Washington, D.C.
Closing out an eventful week on the world stage, President Trump is now in possession of a Nobel Peace Prize, presented to him by Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado.
As a recognition for his unique commitment with our freedom.
She told Fox News the gift is on behalf of the people of Venezuela.
He deserves it.
The president called it a wonderful gesture of mutual respect, though it is symbolic, with the Nobel Institute saying the prize cannot be transferred. Machado's visit comes amid uncertainty over her role in Venezuela's future. Following the U.S. ouster of authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro, President Trump said he did not believe Machado had the respect to lead. Florida Republican lawmakers hoping she'll prove otherwise.
She's the legitimate leader of the opposition in Venezuela. She proved it. She earned it.
President Trump has said the U.S. would run Venezuela until a safe transition can be made, and praised interim president and Maduro loyalist Delcy Rodriguez.
She's somebody that we've worked with very well.
citing her support this week of a U.S. sale of Venezuelan oil, while U.S. forces seized another oil tanker linked to Venezuela that Homeland Security says was illegally defying sanctions. All that as President Trump is closely monitoring tensions in Iran, noting the Iranian regime backed off planned executions of protesters after the president warned the U.S. could take action. U.S.-based human rights activists say more than 2,600 people have died in the crackdown on anti-government protesters, and the White House says all options remain on the table. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Now to your Morning Rush. President Donald Trump has unveiled a new health care plan aimed at lowering drug prices and reducing insulin premiums. The proposal would send money directly to consumers instead of insurers and increase price transparency. The plan comes after Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies expired at the end of 2025. A hoax call triggered a SWAT response and forced the evacuation of a Southern California casino. Police say a caller claimed that someone with an assault rifle and bomb was inside Park West Bicycle Casino. Guests were told to leave as armored vehicles and SWAT officers responded. Eventually, authorities were able to determine that the threat was not real. And Netflix has signed a deal with Sony to stream its movies after they finish their theatrical and video on demand runs. The deal makes Netflix the exclusive streaming home for Sony films. Upcoming titles include Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse and Nintendo's live-action The Legend of Zelda movie. And that's your Morning Rush. Well, coming up in our next half hour, the U.S. Postal Service changing its postmark rules, why Oregon senators joining 14 others say this could disenfranchise voters. And if you're not sure how to do your taxes and you plan on turning to AI for help, you may want to think again. Coming up at 7:45, why experts say turning to AI for tax advice could land you in hot waters with the IRS. And we are also live at the Portland Fan Expo. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live in just a bit with everything you need to know. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues after this.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Vidawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Vidawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team. Tonight on KGW.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather.
We are coming up on 7:29 on what is looking like a fine Friday morning commute. I don't have any major freeway trouble out there right now, and the drive times certainly reflect that. The slowest, not bad at all. 17 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough on Highway 26. A reminder, tonight and tomorrow night, the I-205 Abernathy Bridge fully closed for several hours. Tonight, that closure is from 11 to 6 as ODOT continues their seismic retrofit there. So again, 99E, I-5 or Highway 43, your traffic solutions around that overnight closure. Rod?
All right, Chris, thank you for that. Good morning. Most of us waking up to this. Clear skies. Here's Lincoln City, where Coast temperatures could approach 60 degrees again. Here's downtown Portland from the Portland Spirit Landing, looking at the Tilcomb Crossing. That's mainly a clear sky over the city. And then you get some beautiful orange hues on the Columbia River from the Vancouver, the Springs to the waterfront camera. So it will be a sunny day. We have frosty spots around, 34 at PDX right now, 48 degrees at noon. I have us warming up to about 52. And for the most part, a sunny upcoming weekend, 55 today for a high, 53 tomorrow.
Okay, take a look at this. Progresso is bringing back its hard candy-like soup drops for National Soup Month. The flavors are chicken noodle, tomato basil, and beef pot roast. The company is offering a bundle which includes a can of actual soup. It's available through January while supplies last through Walmart. So
I don't get it. Are you familiar with this?
no.
Is this like bouillon?
It's like a cough drop? What is it?
Or what is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Is this? Oh, it's a
Kayla
candy.
says it's like a candy. So it's like a cough drop.
Suck on some chicken soup.
I think there's a reason none of us are familiar with this.
Yes, that.
I feel like candy should always be sweet and not savory, but to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, no, pass.
Give me
Are we all doing this to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, with 3 thumbs down. Here's a look at our Salem sky camera. You've got clear skies. Okay, that's a great shot of the white frost on the grass now in front of the state capitol. No fog, obviously frosty, 32. Downtown Portland, we've stayed above freezing. It is clear out there. Now, this is out at the airport, PDX, 34. I think it was down to 33 at one point. 48 degrees at noon. Will be low to mid 50s for highs today. We do have the east winds that are gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour and even slightly higher at times, but in close proximity only to the opening of the gorge out along the Columbia River. Obviously, that's you folks in Troutdale. That's your forecast for now. Here's Chris.
Okay, Rod, thank you for that. Our Friday morning commute, you know what? We're in pretty good shape. I'll show you the drive times to prove that in a second, but the cameras behind me certainly show an absence of any fog across the metro area. And there you go. Right now, 18 minutes gets in from Hillsborough, 16 minutes from Troutdale. So far, so good out there. And the drive across the Columbia also in pretty good shape. A reminder, tonight, the I-205 Abernathy Bridge closes both directions. This is a full closure between Oregon City and West Lynn. Tonight, that's from 11 to 6. Tomorrow, it's from 11 to 7. ODOT continuing that seismic retrofit and upgrade of the bridge. So while that closure is in place, 99E or 43 or I-5 are your traffic solutions. Of course, local traffic between Oregon City and West Lynn. You folks can always use the Arch Bridge overnight. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Gresham police are asking for your help finding this missing 14-year-old. Authorities say Annabella Wimberly was last seen leaving Gresham High School at 12:30 yesterday afternoon. She hasn't been seen since. At the time, she was wearing a light-colored hoodie and carrying a teal polka dot backpack. If you know where Annabella is, call 911. New this morning, a group of U.S. senators are speaking out about changes to the U.S. Postal Service. Processing change could affect mail-in voting. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from a post office in Northwest Portland. So Thomas, bring us up to speed here.
Yeah, well, this is a new updated policy here by USPS saying that postmark dates may not no longer be when the mail arrives to the post office, but instead when it's processed. 16 senators, including both from Oregon, Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, are pushing back, sending a letter to the Postmaster General saying these changes will be a big problem for states that vote largely or entirely by mail. Of course, here in Oregon and up in Washington, many people do vote by mail. In their letter, senators wrote most people that are affected will be in rural areas, arguing that even if someone gets their ballot in on time, they're at risk of their vote not being counted as the ballot instead sits at a local post office. A spokesperson for the post office says the processing changes will not change existing operations or practices, adding the agency looks forward to clarifying the senator's misunderstanding. Still, election officials up in Washington are urging their constituents that if they are voting by mail, to get those ballots in a week ahead of time to make sure there's plenty of time for them to get postmarked. China?
Thomas, thank you.
This was not a role that I was seeking, absolutely. But I accept it with as much humility and honor as I can because I recognize how important this moment is.
So that's Portland's new city councilor, President Jamie Dunphy, who won the top spot after more than a dozen rounds of voting. His last-minute nomination breaking the council week-long stalemate. And now, just days after he was elected, Dunphy is doubling down on his message that becoming council president was never his goal. Though now that he is in the role, his top priorities include addressing the city's permitting process, crumbling infrastructure, unspent housing money, and creating unity on council.
Candidly, there was a lot of ugliness that happened in the last couple of days. We need to find a path forward. We need to demonstrate that this is a body of serious lawmakers who are serious about the future of the city.
And you can hear more from Dunphy tonight right here on KGW when he joins our Blur Best for a live interview at 6:30. ODOT is warning that without more support, service and staffing cuts are on the way. The Department of Transportation says it is now having a funding gap of $242 million. So that could mean cutting more than 1,000 positions and reducing service. In a committee meeting earlier this week, lawmakers suggested that ODOT needs more flexibility. The agency is required to keep costs for operations and maintenance to 6% of its budget, with the vast majority of spending earmarked for new construction.
It is the legislature that directed ODOT to spend all this money on capital projects that has now sucked up all the money and pulled it away from operations and maintenance.
And so while Democrats passed a transportation funding package last session, Republicans gathered enough signatures to put parts of it, including a hike in the gas tax, to voters in November. Governor Kotek is now calling for the bill to be repealed so lawmakers can start over on ODOT funding during next month's short session. All right, TriBet had the first of several in-person open houses yesterday to discuss planned service cuts. Those cuts include eliminating part of the Green Max line as well as changes to 35 different bus lines. Several more open houses are planned in the coming weeks, and you can find one close to you at TriMet.org. Keep in mind, cuts haven't been finalized yet and wouldn't take effect until August. All right, if you are a fan of comics, movies, TV shows, or cosplay, this weekend is basically your Super Bowl. Fan Expo Portland kicks off today at the Oregon Convention Center, and thousands are set to attend. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live from the Expo as things get set up with what you can expect to see. Corey.
Yeah, good morning, China. Things are definitely underway, getting set up here at the Fan Expo at the Oregon Convention Center. It's set to bring together thousands of fans celebrating pop culture. You can see many vendors setting up this morning for the event that kicks off today at 3 and lasts throughout the rest of the weekend. People can expect to come and get autographs, meet and greets with celebrities, panel discussions with celebrities to learn about the behind the scenes for their favorite TV shows and movies. But an important aspect of an event like this is cosplaying. And so we're joined with some cosplayers this morning. This is Maddie. Maddie, it's nice to see you. Zane over there. And so first, let's break down, who are you dressed as?
So I am dressed as Flora from the Winx Club, which is a popular kids TV show. I grew up watching it, and Flora was my absolute favorite character. So it's been my dream to cosplay her literally since I was on the playground. So now I finally get to do it and show it off to other people, which is just so amazing.
And then also, Zane, I mean, you're in costume as well. You got to tell us what you've got going on.
Yeah, this is Sigmar Katarina. He's from Dark Souls. Ever since I saw him playing the game, I just knew I had to put him on. I had to go out and make him.
Absolutely. And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 10 years.
And so getting into the costumes, I mean, a lot of people cosplay for these events when they come out and do it. And so you've even created some of these costumes. Talk about what you've done.
So this is another version of Flora that I have done, her harmonics fairy form. And I was really drawn to this because one, I was doing a group, so we had like 6 of us, which is always super fun. Part of cosplay is connection, in my opinion. And I got to really learn about like ballet corsetry because I wanted something that was going to be comfortable and flexible that I could wear for a long time. So I got to learn about different types of boning, different types of even like seam lines that make it more flexible and more comfortable to wear.
Great. There's a lot that goes into these costumes, and that includes passion. I mean, Zane, we were just talking before about how you've been doing this since middle school, putting together these costumes. Talk about the importance of cosplay as a whole and how it plays a role in all of this.
Yeah, I think cosplay, it's just so important to conventions and not like the vibes are just so much better when you go to a place and you see everyone in costume. It's so much more fun. And, you know, you hear these stories of people like me have been doing this for forever. and you see the passion, you see the work, and it's just nice to get together and celebrate that.
Fantastic. Well, this event set to host thousands of people, as we've said before. It kicks off at 3 this afternoon. You can expect to see a lot of people in costume like Zane and Maddie, and we'll be here the rest of the morning showcasing what you can expect for Fan Expo as it takes over Portland. Back to you.
Corey, those are just so detailed, and I'm sure they put so much time
I know.
in that. Oh.
And I'm jealous. I wish I had a costume. I want to cosplay now.
Oh, wow. Next year, Corey.
All right, that's our Corey Johnson reporting live for us this morning. All right, we have some pretty weather to get to.
Yeah, we do. And it's another morning. Let's see if we have any right now. Yeah, there's one right there. It's kind of hard to see at home. But we've got a fistful of surfers out there getting out over the incoming tide. This is our live camera in Seaside this morning. Obviously, clear skies, 45 degrees. This will be another day with temperatures mid-50s to even some areas approaching 60 at the coast. And generally, the winds will just be 5 to 15. Not bad. Different world for you folks out in Wasco County. This is the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. And this is what I call low cloud lockdown. And the cloud base is so low, it's kind of foggy looking as well. This will not change throughout the day today. I expect it to look like this, which means the early morning number of 39 may or may not warm up 5 degrees. That would put 44 on the high end with no wind for you folks out there. Into the Willamette Valley we go, where it's going to be another gorgeous sunny day. Chehalem Tasting Room in Sherwood showing off the clear skies. Temperatures range from freezing to 40s. Now, if you're in the 40s, you have at least some east wind. Happy Valley 42, Troutdale 42, under a wind advisory for gusts today, 40 to 50, even 55 miles per hour. And again, those winds are in close proximity to the gorge itself. Hillsboro's common 31, Salem's common 32. You do have some fog in the upper 20s down around Corvallis and Albany. Beatrice is our KGW pet of the day on this Friday. Beautiful cat, beautiful classic green eyes there. Pet of the day at kgw.com is email. Send us the photo and your pet will be featured on our show. Generally, it's a dry day. The sunshine at the coast, the sunshine in the valley with fog clearing down to our south. And then the clouds we mentioned from parts of central Oregon up into the Dalles, now east into Pendleton. This shows Pendleton only 34 degrees and the Dalles only 42 mid-afternoon. 7-day forecast, though. Portland's going to be sunny in 50s, it looks like, all the way into the holiday weekend, including Monday, which, of course, is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. All right, here's Chris.
Thanks for that. We'll take you out into that low cloud lockdown. This is east of the Cascades in Wasco County, US 197 near Ty Ridge, socked in with the fog. And also note the temperature there. This is from the Trip Check website, ODOT's website, below freezing. So some of those rural highways out in Wasco and Sherman, Gillum, and Morrow counties could easily be frosted over this morning. So be aware of that as you folks continue to deal with that inversion. All right, over on the west side, inbound Sunset, this is out near Murray Boulevard. You can see eastbound traffic zipping along just fine. Door number 2 takes us south of town, I-5 near Capitol Highway. That looks pretty good. And one last camera stop here on our ODOT tour, or washout. This is I-205 over the Glen Jackson Bridge, excuse me. The I-205 commute looks pretty good. So far, no major trouble out there right now. The I-5 commute taking folks about 11 minutes to get in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge right now. China.
Thank you, Chris.
They have to be really careful to check to see when that information was last updated.
These days, people are using AI for just about anything, but if you plan to use it for your taxes, it might not be a great idea. What experts have to say coming up when Sunrise continues in just 2 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Tax season is once again upon us, and if you don't know much about doing your taxes, you may be tempted to turn to AI. But experts say with all the recent tax code changes, turning to AI could be a bad idea. Leanne Denier has a story.
Tax season is imminent.
It is not business as usual. The legislation that was passed on July 4th of 2025, commonly referred to as One Big Beautiful Bill, had many tax changes implemented.
Joyce Chang with the California Society of Enrolled Agents says this tax season, it's important to consider where and from who you're getting guidance from, especially if you're using AI.
The issues that people will run across with AI is they have to be really careful to check to see when that information was last updated. And if they don't do that, they could be reading old information and getting themselves into a pickle.
The tax experts that we talked with said it can be helpful to use something like an AI chatbot or social media to learn more about tax filing. But they said it's important that you fact check from there. Kaya Klotzek is a California Tax Education Council board member and tax expert. She says it's important to understand state-specific rules and how a major life event could impact your filing.
Everyone's tax situation is different. And, just like on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, when they're doing those things, they're talking about generalities, right? Or they're trying to make a statement for themselves. They're trying to be really flashy and grab your attention.
Both experts say if you're using social media or AI to help you out this tax season, be sure to follow up with a tax professional.
If the awareness is being increased by that social media exposure, that's a good thing. But it has to be followed up with getting the correct information about it.
You do them, your hubby does them, you send them off. You pay somebody.
Oh, my husband doesn't. My husband does them.
He's a finance guru.
Yeah, he's a finance guy, and I don't look at our bills. I don't know when our mortgage is paid. That's the best part about being in a marriage. He just handles it.
See, I do that, and I take out the trash.
Oh my God!
I don't want to brag.
Whoa! Ladies.
You're so
chill.
So look at our Timberline launch camera. We have clear blue skies up top, and it's pretty mild. I mean, it's not the crazy 50s we had a couple of mornings ago, but 43 is the current temperature. Timberline will be holding in the 40s throughout the day. But clearly, if you're going up to the mountain, it's going to be another bluebird day. All right, high pressure ridge continues to be strong. In fact, these clouds hit what's kind of a mound of denser air, if you will, high pressure. It kind of hit it, and then they can't penetrate it, more or less. That's the visual that you're seeing with the clouds lining the outer periphery of that ridge. So we're all dry. No weather systems coming or going through at least Tuesday, maybe even beyond that. The one thing that's showing up on Futurecast, I realize we have some fog, especially down in the South Valley, south of Salem, down into Eugene. But outside of that, what we're looking at is what Futurecast is showing, and that's just what I call low cloud lockdown. It's a product of a temperature inversion. These low clouds will be here all day from Kennewick down through Pendleton into the Dalles. It's almost foggy. The clouds are so low. Your temperature won't budge much today, just a really gray, still, chilly day. And some of those clouds extend down into central Oregon as well. The other story that doesn't show up on the satellite picture, of course, is the wind. Weather Service actually has popped up a wind advisory for areas in close proximity to the opening of the gorge. This is you folks in Fairview, you folks in Troutdale, for example. Wind gusts, our modeling shows could hit 50 or better today. We've already seen, I think, at one point a couple hours ago, Troutdale bounced up to like a 49 mile per hour wind gust. So these winds will be pretty relentless for you folks out there in East County along the Columbia River. Visibility is fine, generally speaking, because of the winds. Now, Scappoose is one area that has shown a little bit of reduced visibility, but there's the main fog pocket in the valley, again, right on the line of Corvallis, Albany, and then down into Eugene, where you've got a quarter of a mile visibility this morning. The coast is clear. This is down Lincoln County, the end of Otter Crest camera, and it's going to be like that all day. Could be 55 to 60 degree temps at the coast today with not much wind. It's really great weather. All clear, and it doesn't look like it's frosty. 34 is the number. This is the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha in Washington County, of course. These are current numbers. Up in Seattle, it's 40. That should be a beautiful, clear drive up that direction for the most part. Teens out in Baker City and Burns. Valley forecast numbers today, well up into the 50s. Most of us are just clear from start to finish. Southwest Washington, similar. Again, the gusty winds right down near the Columbia River in the opening of the gorge. And the gorge forecast, only 41 in Hood River and the Dalles. The Hood River could be cloudy today like the Dalles. You get sunshine and 49 in Cascade Locks. 7-day forecast shows the sunshine for the most part all the way into the first part of the week, with daytime highs in the 50s today at 55. Here's Mr. McGinnis.
All right, Rodney, thank you for that. We'll get you out the door with a look, south of town. Or no, actually, I take that back. We are looking back out into eastern Oregon again. Wasco, Morrow, Gillum counties. Again, you're kind of socked in with that low cloud deck and the fog, and with temperatures below freezing, some of our rural highways could be a little icy this morning again in that part of the state. Highway 26 out near Murray Boulevard, your eastbound commute zipping along just fine. I-205 over the Glen Jackson Bridge, that looks good. Your I-5 commute right now, 13 minutes from Main Street. Interstate 84, 20 minutes from Troutdale. So that looks pretty good. A reminder, overnight tonight and tomorrow night, the I-205 Abernathy Bridge will be closed for several hours tonight. That's from 11 to 6, tomorrow 11 to 7 between Oregon City and West Lynn. That's for continuation of that Abernathy Bridge seismic retrofitting project. Local traffic, of course, can use the Arch Bridge. Otherwise, regional traffic, your detours, of course, 99E, Highway 43, and I-5. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
30 years ago, my God, this place was packed. We had foot traffic everywhere.
But today, the shelves are nearly empty, and they can't seem to get anyone to come into the store. Coming up, why a local grocery store says they might have to close down. Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
A more than century-old grocer in Portland is at risk of closing its doors. The last business standing on Produce Row. The president of the company says that she's giving it all she has to keep things afloat. KGW's Jake Holter has the story.
Here at Sheridan Fruit Company, the president says that foot traffic is at an all-time low, citing COVID, inflation, and tariffs all as contributing factors to the increasingly empty shelves, but she's hopeful that customers will return.
We are really struggling to fill our shelves. We want to give our customers everything that we used to.
Sheridan Fruit Company has been in business since 1916 and is the last retail and wholesale grocer operating on Produce Row. Company president Ann Barwick's family has been at the helm since 1946.
It means a lot to me personally. You know, I don't want to see this go away. And there's so many things out of my control.
For example, Sheridan used to deliver to hundreds of restaurants pre-COVID through their wholesale business, but after so many restaurants went under in the pandemic, their revenue has taken a big hit.
It's just never been able to come back, and we wanted to service those restaurants. We still have very few, but so many of them, it just broke our hearts to see them go, but we understood why, and that really affected us.
She says Sheridan's own suppliers are coming in with prices sometimes 50% more than just a few years ago. And it's not just the store feeling the pinch. Barwick says customer habits have also changed with rising prices and an affordability crisis.
You can tell that they are very, watching what they spend, even during the holidays, like we do gift baskets and gift boxes, but they're reasonably priced, but still that's a luxury that a lot of people that used to give those out don't do it anymore because of the expense.
30 years ago, my God, this place was packed. We had foot traffic everywhere. We had people coming. People were working out. People were working. And now they're not working, they're working from home.
One customer we spoke with off camera says he gets lunch at Sheridan almost every day and would be devastated to see it close, but says he himself does less grocery shopping there.
The bottom line is that we just need our customers to be here, and I know it's hard to ask of that when we don't have a lot of things to sell them right now.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with a new report from Portland State University showing homelessness is on the rise in Oregon. The factors that are driving the rise in homelessness in Portland.